It's that time again. It's time for another Saturday night special where we talk about everything rockhounding related. Got the digital microscope out tonight. We're going to be inspecting some rocks. We're going to be looking at some polishes. We're going to be looking at some fitments. As you saw maybe last week, I did my very first piece of Intarsia work. So the center stone here is jasper. The black is basalt. And it is careful fitment to get all these pieces together looking like this. And I did thoroughly enjoy that process of kind of the careful fitment of stones. So I made more. And I gotta admit, it's been a while since I've done something lapidary related where it like sunk a hook in me and I'm like, I gotta do more. So I did number 2, and number 2 is clearly more complex. Okay, so the center stone is jasper, the black is basalt, and the green stripes there are serpentine from the Wild Turkey Mine, and I did a bezel kind of going all the way around it here. Obviously mistakes were made, but I made this out of, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different rocks all fit together. What do you think? Polished up to a 14,000 grit, and we're going to talk about that here. So this, mistakes were made. Mistakes were made, and you can kind of see, okay, so down here, bevel is pretty nice and even, right? Also on that side, also up here, bevel's looking good. And then up at the top, one of them kind of got away from me. You can kind of see how it's thicker on one end than the other, right? So we're thick here, more narrow up at the top. Other than that, I think it came out pretty good. This kind of careful fitment of stones together it's a good skill to have. It's good, you know, especially in light of the Maker's Challenge. I'm thinking about future projects. Future projects where having this skill set of perfectly fitting rocks together will come in handy. I will be using it. I did do a third piece, which is this little triangle here with a piece of polka dot agate surrounded in basalt. This is more just these are skill building pieces. These are not fancy Intarsia, right? I'm just learning the process. Learning the process. And the best way that I've found so far is, well, I got Bill's book. I got Bill Boggs's book, The Introduction to Stone Intarsia. You can get this on Blurb, which is like a print-on-demand website, and you can follow his processes laid out in here and make things like that. These are also on the thicker side, being that I'm just practicing things. But this really does a great job of walking you through everything that you need to know. And Bill also has a YouTube channel. So I'm going to throw some links down below. Be sure to go check those out. It is a very delicate and interesting process to go through, and I'm already learning a lot. I'm learning a lot that I can carry on or carry to other forms of lapidary, I think, and it's been very good. But what we're doing here with the digital microscope is we're going to be inspecting how I did on the fitment of these stones. And I did all of these on high-tech diamond, all you need, flat lap with a fence. So that's my process that I have. I do not have a fancy Intarsia machine, maybe someday. But let's get this kind of wiped off here. So we're going to look at, under the microscope here, how the two rocks lined up. And there's the tip right there, and well, you're definitely not seeing that with your naked eye. I think that fitment is quite good. You know, look at that. You can barely see the seams. I think that's pretty good. That is tight. That just, when you feel it, when you see it in person, it really looks like one continuous rock. You know, even those little pieces out of the corner, your eye doesn't get caught by it. We're just going to go all the way around here, I think. Oh, by the way, check this out. So that little pocket right there, it doesn't show up on the digital here. I didn't know. Coming out of the polka dot agate mine, those are garnets. That's garnet right there in that little seam. I didn't know they produced that there. But there's actually garnets in a lot of things that you may not fully realize. So there's the seam on that corner. I think it came out looking pretty good. And you'll notice that there's gappage at the where the white corner of the triangle is meeting the basalt frame. It's hard. It's thankfully the human eye cannot pick that up. We're looking good, looking at more of those garnets, and then we're back up here at the top. So I learned a bunch of things in this whole process, and at some point here, I will share that stuff with you. On the back side, or on one of the sides, you can see, it's really hard to show on the microscope what the, I guess we can go like this. Can we go like this? Okay, let's go. Yeah, you can see there is a little bit more gap here, which is less than ideal. And you can actually see that, I believe, with your naked eye. Or on the back piece there. One thing that, so I took this piece up to 14,000 grit, and then I did cerium, and you can see it there. That cerium is not coming out. And one thing that people will lie and say is that you could always get it out, and I disagree. I've done, with this right here, that cerium and that seam never coming out. I brushed it, soaked it, soap, ultrasonic, steam, and the water pick. So that's in there for good. So even though we have a lovely finish here on this piece, right? Like that's a lovely finish that you're seeing, you know, or if we look at it here, like that's a nice finish, right? I'm happy with that. Roll the light on it. That's good. I need to have polished belts and not rely upon compound. So that's where, well, before we get into that, let's look at this other one that I did here, because I think this one came out pretty good too. You can see there's some bigger gaps here on the fitment. I think I can do a better job on that. You can see all those seams there where things don't quite line up. And I did this on a 180 disc, and you can see, I'll show you here a second, where we got chip out. We got chip out down here on the bottom of the jasper because I did an 80 grit, and the diamonds were basically like pressure flaking the corner of this. So we gotta fix that, and you can see that corner right there. That corner is looking pretty good there. I'm pretty happy with that. You know, that's looking tight. That's looking tight for handwork. You know. Then we'll go back. We'll just check the first one. Yeah, those are much worse. Much worse. Okay, so I need a 50,000 grit belt and a 100,000 grit belt for my my arbor. If we go back, so I did make this 3,000 grit belt, which is perfect, and it's still holding strong and doing great. I don't know if you watched those videos about making my own diamond belts. Awesome. 14,000 grit belt, still doing awesome. I have 50,000 grit diamond, and then I think I need 100,000 grit diamond, because if I can't use compound on a seam like that, or I mean, I can't use cerium oxide or any other type of polished compound on a seam like that. I need belts. I need belts. I'm going to try that next to be able to get that like perfect butter finish on the rocks. Yeah, it's good. Good to make some belts too. Let's pause, get this done. I've been excited to try something new, and I like the small work. I like it. You know, you can do it with a flat lap. Faceting, although, I mean, faceting looks very interesting to me. Faceting machines are just out of my price range, and I don't want to do the whole like VVOR faceting machine with like a replacement head thing. If I was going to get into faceting, I would have to get like a real faceting machine, and those are those are money. Those are money. I got other stuff. I got to buy before getting into faceting. But in the meantime, I think the Intarsia is very cool. Highland Park does sell an Intarsia machine, and if you get all the fixtures and all that stuff, it's like $1,500 probably, something like that. I can't remember, but it is a good value as opposed to like a new Ultratech faceting machine, like $5,000 plus all the other bits and bobs that go along with a faceting machine. Well, show season is starting. Show season is happening. I have some advice for you, the rock show goer, as well as, well, the rock show putter honors, coordinators. Okay, so you're going to go to a rock show. We're going to go to some rock shows this summer, this spring, and here's what you need to get. If you don't have a little backpack, like this is my show backpack that I take to shows, okay? It can be any backpack, but it should be a small, medium backpack with, at minimum, a couple of pockets. First off, this thing, it's like a whole just giant pouch. And then there's a little upper pouch. And this is good for when you buy little specimens, little things like that, upper pouch, that's delicate, right? Big pouch in here for big things, you know, slabs, bags of stuff, rough. I see so many people go to rock shows and they're just like, they're carrying things in their hands or like little bags in their hands because they didn't bring a backpack. Get a backpack, bring your backpack. It's a million times better. Shows, okay? There's a lot of shows that I see that have the worst flyers and ads for their shows where they don't even put they don't even put the information that's needed. Here's two examples, both of which are good. Both are shows coming up if you're watching this in real time. So we have the Lakeside Gem and Mineral Club here, all right? They tell you everything that you need. The dates, the times, where, what to expect. Does it cost money or is it free? All of the pertinent information. I've seen flyers for shows where they have a QR code and like that's basically it. That's stupid. Don't do that. You can have a QR code for people to scan with their phones, but don't rely on it. Like, look at the demographic. Like, a lot of people today don't even know what QR codes are. Like, it's just not as prevalent as I think you think it is. Same thing here with the Seattle Mineral Market. The dates, you know, the time, where, oh, it's free parking, like everything that you need to know on one thing. That's it. That's all you gotta do. You gotta say when, where, and what you should expect. Pretty simple. Lakeside, okay, so here's the deal. A lot of rock shows are multiple days, like 2 days, 3 days, and everybody knows that the best stuff disappears in the first hours of the first day. And it is to the point where going to shows on the second day, the third day, it's just often not as good. It's just not as good. When we went to the Spokane Rock Roller Show this year, I had the people left comments, or a couple of people messaged me saying they went to the show, it wasn't good, there was nothing there was no deals. And I'm like, when did you go? They went on the last day, a couple hours before the show closed down. I'm like, what did you expect? Why would there be good deals like on day 3 of a show? All the good deals are gone. But what Lakeside does is this. I like this. So, you know, Saturday, Sunday. Obviously, the best deals are going to be on Saturday morning, right? And then tailgate. Look at that tailgate. Sunday, 8 to noon. 8 to noon. Sunday, the show's open 10 to 4. So that means there's going to be a tailgate sale outside the show on Sunday. So you can go and see, like, you know, I mean, that's just like people literally dropping the tailgate of their truck and selling out of that, or, you know, have a little table set up. And that is good, because with the low bar of entry and the low to no cost of a tailgate sale, you get the better deals. There's always better deals at a tailgate sale. That's a reason to go to a show on the second day. Everybody that's coordinating a show should have a tailgate show or tailgate sale before the, you know, the second day or the third day if it's a 3-day show. It's just, it makes sense to do. It gives you a reason to go on that second day. I'm just saying, that's smart. That's smart. If you're putting a display case in at a show, this is one thing that has irked me to no end when I go to shows. If you're putting a display case in, you have to label your stuff. That should be like a mandated thing from a club. Clubs should be like, you don't get to just put this in there, right? You don't just get to put that in there and expect people to know. People are not necessarily just going to be, oh, look at the little triangle, right? Like, no. You got to label it. What is it? That context is what sets bad cases apart from good cases. The good cases have context from labeling. They have labels that are made and not handwritten, and there's just more effort put into it. You know, like little risers, right? Like, it's not just stuff tossed into a case. There's like a theme. There's like an idea that they're trying to convey to you. It's you know, agates of the Pacific Northwest. It's picture jaspers of the Pacific Northwest. It's like jewelry. It's all Intarsia. It's faceted stones. It's things spinning. The shows that I've seen that have like people put little rotating displays in their cases, that is good. That is very, very good. Like, that sets your case apart. Like, you're seeing this long line of cases and you're, oh, no, hey Sarah, you don't get to interrupt and not say hello.
Sorry.
Say hello to everybody on Saturday.
Hello.
We're talking about rock shows.
Oh.
Any rock show advice? You can say it into my chest.
Usually when we go the first day, it's a lot better than the second day.
I was just talking about that. And you should bring a little backpack. We see so many people that have stuff in their hands at shows. And like, why you gotta have, like, no, you have a little backpack, good flyers, talking about good shows.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes. Tailgate sale on the second day, which gives you a reason to go.
Oh.
That's smart.
Yeah. Does it say that on the flyer?
Yeah. Down there, tailgate sale.
Well, then when are we going to go?
I don't know.
Second day.
Both days.
Yeah. Weekend in the Tri-Cities.
Tri-Cities weekend. You go get yourself some CBAs. Huh? CBAs? No, it's gonna... Is it hating me now? Good enough.
Do you want me to stand here the rest of the time?
No, you can go. I'm not... I won't edit anything out. Hey, we had a surprise visitor out here. So that's my thoughts on what makes for good display cases, good shows. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find somebody that disagrees with me on that, but you never know. People at some rock clubs are very disagreeable people, and that's the way that goes. Well, thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this. I'm glad we had our special visitor out here. And with that said, we'll leave this one here. Thanks for coming by, hanging out with me in the shop. Go check out currentlyrockhounding.com, and I will catch you in the next video.